नमस्कार, NIOS के स्टूडियो में आपका स्वागत है। आज हम लाइव प्रोग्राम करेंगे जिस टॉपिक पर, वह है इक्विपमेंट एट ECCE सेंटर, यानी ECCE केंद्र पर उपकरण का महत्व और उनसे जुड़ी हुई बातें आज हम करेंगे। आई एम कृति गुलेरिया, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, आर्मी इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन, ग्रेटर नोएडा, and I'll be taking your session for today. जिन विषयों पर हम चर्चा करेंगे वह हैं, first of all we'll be taking up introduction part, we'll be taking learning objectives, then importance of play and play equipment, preconditions of equipment, equipment for various domains, and maintenance of physical equipment and learning material. First of all, while coming to the learning objectives, अधिगम के उद्देश्य। हम जब भी कोई टॉपिक करते हैं, we should be aware about objectives. We should know why we are studying that topic. तो जो हमारा टॉपिक है इक्विपमेंट एट ECCE सेंटर, फर्स्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू डिस्कस अबाउट इम्पॉर्टेंस ऑफ प्ले एंड एक्टिविटीज इन ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ चिल्ड्रन। सेकेंड ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू एग्जेम्प्लीफाई वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ प्ले। थर्ड ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू एनालाइज ऑन कंसिडरेशंस इन सिलेक्शन ऑफ इक्विपमेंट। Next is to enlist the types of outdoor and indoor materials or equipments and teaching learning materials required at ECCE centers. Next objective is to integrate equipment in various domains. And last objective is to state effective and efficient ways for maintaining and utilizing the indoor and outdoor space and equipments. Another objective is to select suitable equipment and materials for the center. इन उद्देश्यों को ध्यान में रखते हुए हम अपनी चर्चा आगे बढ़ाएंगे। Now, as you can see in this picture, beautiful slides, small little children playing together. जब हम इस पिक्चर को सामने देखते हैं तो हमें दिखाई देता है कि सामने छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं जो आपस में खेल रहे हैं, बातें कर रहे हैं, सीख रहे हैं और बढ़ रहे हैं। When we look into the slide on to our left, children are playing outside. At the back, we can see two children playing badminton. This kind of activity, it is helping them in promoting the physical development, the interaction, growth of gross motor skill. Children in front, sitting together on the mat, they are discussing something, holding their toys in their hands, talking, imagining. Children towards the left side, they are again gearing up for some adventure. तो इन वार्तालाप के थ्रू आप जब देखेंगे, बच्चे आपस में वार्तालाप करते हैं, अपने लेवल के अकॉर्डिंग सोचते हैं, बोलते हैं, सीखते हैं। तो जो अधिगम की प्रक्रिया है वह एक साथ नहीं आती। अधिगम की प्रक्रिया कंटिन्यूअस है, वो चलती रहती है और आपस में मेल मिलाप के द्वारा, बातचीत के द्वारा वह बढ़ती है। इसी तरह सामने सीधे हाथ की पिक्चर में अगर आप देखेंगे, अगेन children are sitting together, playing, talking together. Only difference between these two slides is that one is an outdoor activity, and in the second picture, children are involved in the indoor activity. But objective and ultimate outcome of both these activities is that children are learning together. They are coming out of their own zone. They are indulging with others. They are incorporating with others. They are putting forward their thought process, which is an important aspect for their cognitive development, which again forms the basis for creativity. So, through this slide, we can say that play forms a very important role in growth and development of the children. जब हम प्रस्तावना की बात करते हैं तो हमें सबसे पहले छोटे बच्चों को ध्यान में रख के हमें सोचना है. We all have seen children at home. We ourselves were children. We are still children at core. Though we are growing in age by numbers, but these numbers, they are growing, and along with that, the child within each one of us still there. So we have to nurture those children who are still a child by their age. So when we talk about children in this center at ECCE center, जहाँ पर हमें बच्चों को डेवलप करना है, उनको ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटीज देनी है जिससे वो सीखें, अधिगम प्रक्रिया सुचारू रूप से चलती रहे. तो जैसे जब हम फर्स्ट पॉइंट पर देखते हैं, हम देखेंगे यहाँ यंग चिल्ड्रन आर एक्टिव लर्नर्स. दे आर कंटिन्यूसली ग्रोइंग एंड लर्निंग. Children continuously grow and learn. This is a very important point. Development doesn't stop with age. It continues throughout. Along with growing, they grow in cognitive development. They grow as per their mental abilities, in language skill. They grow in their emotional understandings. They grow in their social skills. And this play, जो हमने पिछली स्लाइड में देखा, खेल के माध्यम से बच्चा इन सभी पैटर्न पर ग्रो करता है. बच्चे को उन सभी फैसिलिटीज को हमें प्रोवाइड करना चाहिए जिससे बच्चा हर डोमेन के अंडर बढ़े. जैसे Jean Piaget, the great psychologist, he was the cognitive psychologist, he had said that children are active scientists. It has been proved that children, they are not just passive learners. They are actively involved in the learning process. They participate in the process. They inquire. They indulge themselves in. They ask questions. So these qualities, they need to be taken out. They need to be nurtured. As per other cognitive psychologists and other socio-psychologists like Lev Vygotsky or information processing theory, all these theories, they have given the base of giving importance to children and their activities. जब हम इस पिक्चर की बात करें, आप जैसे इस पिक्चर में देख पा रहे हैं, छोटे बच्चे दे आर प्लेइंग टुगेदर, दे आर वर्किंग टुगेदर. And when we talk about being scientists, it ensures that a child is thinking. अगर बच्चा बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक से खेल रहा है तो उसके बारे में वो क्यूरियस है, उसकी शेप के लिए वो क्यूरियस है. वो उसको पूरा देखकर पहचान कर उसको अरेंज करता है। शेप्स हैं तो उनको सॉर्ट आउट करता है, कलर्स हैं तो उसके अकॉर्डिंग उनको अरेंज करता है। अरेंज करके ही वो एक नई चीज क्रिएट करता है और इस प्रक्रिया में वो अपने सहपाठियों की भी मदद लेता है, शिक्षागण की भी मदद लेता है और आसपास के वातावरण से सीखता है। अगर बच्चा किसी चीज में डायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्व नहीं है, लेकिन अगर वो ऑनलुकर है, देख रहा है, तो वह भी अधिगम प्रक्रिया का एक भाग है। अगर आप इस पिक्चर में और ध्यान से देखें, few teachers are standing at the back, few children they are walking, they are indulged somewhere, few children they are busy in making some creativity out of the blocks that they are having with them. So everybody is engaged और जहां पर भी कोई मुश्किल आती है बच्चा पूछता है। So this in this process we can say and we can relate it to the second point where we can say that yes, children they are inquisitive, वो जिज्ञासु होते हैं, they want to learn, they want to understand। अब बच्चों की इस जिज्ञासा को हमें एज ECCE टीचर्स, एज पार्ट ऑफ टीचर ट्रेनिंग, वी हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई, वी हैव टू टेक इट आउट। और वो हम कैसे लेकर आएंगे? इट विल बी डन थ्रू provision of opportunities which may broaden their creative horizons. We should provide those learning abilities and learning opportunities to the students, which is helping them to elaborate, to understand, to think, to ponder, to identify, to question. All these things are very important, and we have to provide those opportunities to the children. It can be in terms of either the physical equipment or in the form of observation or audiovisual aids, or it may be any. Based on this, we'll elaborate more in our further elaborations. But we have to identify that which equipments we are providing. Those equipment should not only be just the material. It should stimulate the thinking process of the child. It should help in developing the muscular coordination. It should help in developing the language skills of the child. It should help in developing the creativity among the children. It should let the child to be more imaginative, which further develops and enhances his cognitive and social skills. So these procedures, they are very important, and these are the major focal areas on which we should focus upon when we are working with children and when we are planning for our future lessons. Now coming over to the importance of play. When we are deciding upon play activities, सबसे पहले हमें उसकी इंपॉर्टेंस पता होनी चाहिए। इंपॉर्टेंस इन ओवरऑल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द चाइल्ड। फर्स्ट इंपॉर्टेंस इज इट इज हेल्पफुल इन फोस्टरिंग कॉग्निटिव ग्रोथ, मानसिक विकास में वृद्धि। सो एज टीचर्स वी शुड प्रोवाइड दोज काइंड ऑफ इक्विपमेंट्स टू द चिल्ड्रन which stimulates the thinking process, which is encouraging the child to think and to do. Because just by listening, the child will not learn. He will learn, but the percentage level will be very low. Till the time he is not being involved, the learning will not be 100%. So major aspect and major focus should be to involve the child, which helps in fostering the cognitive development of the child. Next is to deliver emotional and behavioral benefits. We as adults when we are emotionally overwhelmed, we try to stress out. And how do we stress out? Either by singing, or by meditation, or by shopping, or by anything which soothes your mind. Similarly, play is that way through which the child soothes himself. It is the platform which is giving him that emotional balance. It is giving him that emotional connect, so that stability, mental soothing is required, which is provided by through play. And also the behavioral benefits, व्यवहार में जो परिवर्तन आते हैं बच्चे के, that is very much required. Positive changes are required. We all have seen that during Corona period, children who were stuck at home, there is a lack in the social development. So that socialization is very much important and very much required for the behavioral benefit. So play and games, they play a very important role in emotional strengthening and behavioral strengthening of the child. Next importance of play is it helps in improving literacy, साक्षरता. जब बच्चे आपस में खेलते हैं, बातचीत करते हैं, सुनते हैं, वो बहुत चीजें समझते हैं और याद रखते हैं. इस पॉइंट में मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगी. बच्चों की स्टोरी बुक्स, there are lot many story books which are there. So through story books, children, they are able to connect that how anything can be narrated, how meaning can be found out, how the organizational skill, it can be improved in the written portion. And when we talk about the auditory inputs that we are providing, the relation and the understanding that the child gets between the sound and the syllables and the rhythm between them, it is helpful for them in developing their language ability. So the audio CDs, books, picture books, they are all very much important, and these equipments, they play a very important role in developing and improving literacy rate of the children. Next importance is that it helps in building imagination and creativity. कल्पना, जब हम किसी चीज पर विचार करते हैं, हम कल्पना करते हैं, तभी हम उसके लिए प्रेरित होते हैं और कार्य करने के लिए अग्रसर होते हैं. तो इमेजिनेशन हैज टू बी देयर, रचनात्मकता, क्रिएटिविटी. Till the time the child is not having his senses open, he is not being given the opportunities, he will imagine, but his limit will be, it will be limited to some extent. But if we are providing those opportunities or those play equipments to the child, the equipments, it will help in accentuating the learning. It will increase the learning pattern. So as teachers, we should provide those imaginary situations. We should provide those equipment which help the child to be imaginative and creative. इस पॉइंट में भी मैं आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देना चाहूंगी कि हाउ यू कैन डेवलप द इमेजिनेशन अमंग द चिल्ड्रन. वी कैन प्रोवाइड any situation based topic can be given to the children, and students, they have to create their ideas, they have to create their imagination, they have to create their own stories. So give them those thoughts, let them stimulate their thought process, give them few pebbles, give them few blocks and ask them to create any object out of it. Let them be creative. Give them crayons, give them notebooks. They will draw, they will create something. they will put their mind into it. So through certain equipments and through certain inputs from the teacher's side, we can let the child to be more imaginative and creative. And also play helps in encouraging independence. When the children, they are playing together, they are taking up initiatives, they are working out, they are doing the things on their own. Even while playing with in the sand castle, अगर वो मिट्टी से भी कोई गोला भी बना रहे हैं, तो even that is an achievement for the child. He will feel that sense of independence, he will feel that sense of achievement, that I have created this shape, I have created this picture, I have created this element. So that independence will be developed through play. And also, play helps in developing physical fitness, physical ability, running, moving, jumping, all these things, they help in developing gross motor and fine motor skills of the child. After this, we'll come to different types of play. First is unoccupied play, next is solitary play, next is onlooker, associative, parallel and cooperative. We'll study about these various types of play in brief detail. First is unoccupied play. This play and the age group is usually from first 3 years. Unoccupied play primarily occurs in infant from birth to 3 years, and this is the first stage of play. Infant activity of observing their surroundings and displaying random movements with seemingly no objective is actually unoccupied play. And despite appearance, this play is setting the stage for future play exploration. So इस play में, इस type के play में बच्चा बहुत छोटा है, but he is involved in his own activities. There is no aim, there is no goal, but his random movements, they are helping him in learning about his environment. But there is no goal, there is no goal to be achieved. Next is solitary play. This type of play begins around age 2 and differs from playing together, in that child does not try to influence the play of the other child. And over here, the child will play on their own with little or no regard to what others are doing. He is self-engaged. And this type of play teaches a child how to keep themselves entertained, eventually setting the path to being self-sufficient. At that age, children are still pretty self-focused and lack on good communication and sharing skills. Over here, children, when they are young, they are self-focused. Like you can see in the picture, the child is sitting with the toys and he is engaged in himself. So this is the solitary play, that is individual play, when the child is playing individually. Next is onlooker play, where the child is not fully involved and directly involved with the play, but he is an onlooker. He is observing others. So onlooker play is when a child simply observes other children while they are playing and does not participate in the action. And this kind of play is typical for children between 2 and 3 years of age, and especially common for younger children who are working on their developing vocabulary. And motivated by an intense curiosity, little ones might sit and observe others for long periods of time without trying to jump in and play. Means over here, children, they are observing others. They are setting the stage to participate. And once they are being stimulated or they are being motivated by observing others, then they will come and participate in the play. Next is parallel play. And this type of play begins around age 2 and differs from playing together, in that neither child tries to influence the play of the other, and during this play, children will play besides and in proximity to other children without actually playing with them. Here, child is not, they are playing together but with their own separate goals. So, despite having little overt social contact between playmates, children in parallel play learn quite a bit from one another, like awareness of different types of play. आगे हम बढ़ते हैं. Next play is associative play, which is commonly found for the age group of 3 to 4 years, and it also features children playing separately from one another. During associative play, children will play with one another but don't organize their play towards a common goal. Kids might be talking, laughing, and playing together, but have totally different ideas about the outcome of the game they are each playing. Children and their friends may all be playing a game that involves cooking, but one may be a chef, one may be a daddy cooking dinner, and one may be making a snack for the dinosaur. So children, though they are working together, they are playing together, they are still the part of that growing. They are part of that learning structure. And last type of play is cooperative play. As the name suggests, cooperation, मिलजुल कर काम करना. और इसमें मेन डिफरेंस होता है, goal is same. All the children who are working together or who are playing together, they have one common goal, and typically occurring between age group of 4 to 5 years of age, and this is the predominant type of play seen in groups of older preschoolers up to younger preschoolers who have older siblings or have been around a lot of children. Cooperative play involves children playing and working with others towards a common goal or purpose, and being able to participate in cooperative play is extremely important because the child will develop the skill they'll need later to collaborate and cooperate at school and in other typical social settings like sports. So this picture, it exemplifies all those types, the kind of plays that we had just discussed. As you can see, in the first picture, the child is looking outside, self-engaged, imaginative, thinking. So the child is occupied or unoccupied, but still the child is learning. Solitary, जहाँ पर बच्चा अकेले काम कर रहा है, सीख रहा है, समझ रहा है. Onlooker, दूसरे को देख के समझ रहा है, सीख रहा है. Parallel, two children working simultaneously, but in their own spheres. Associative, working on two different patterns, but in some way they are associated, either in blocks making or in some kind of work. And cooperative, जहाँ पर हमें एक दूसरे की सहायता से हमें अपना common goal achieve करना है. So that is the cooperative play. So these are the various types of play. आगे की चर्चा हम एक छोटे से ब्रेक के बाद करते हैं.
प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने, हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने. हम अपना दीपक स्वयं बने, हम अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने. जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो,
धन साधन समय की सीमा से विद्यालय जो मुक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
कभी पढ़े हम कहीं पढ़े, वे विषय की लोच से युक्त हो।
मित्रों हम उठे और जागे,
मंजिल आने की ध्वनि सुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने।
जीवन ये प्रकाशित करने, राहों को आलोकित करने।
राष्ट्रीय मुक्त विद्यालय का है द्वार खुला सबकी खातिर।
शिक्षा परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर।
शिक्षा और परीक्षा का अवसर एक बार ही क्यों मिलता फिर। दुनिया में इसके केंद्र बात,
कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, अपना दीपक स्वयं बने हम, अपना रास्ता स्वयं चुने। कोई मन चाहा केंद्र चुने हम, स्वयं बने हम,
ब्रेक के बाद आपका स्वागत है। अभी तक हमने चर्चा करी थी खेल और उसके महत्व पर। अब आगे की चर्चा हम उसके उपकरणों पर करेंगे, which is considered as play equipment and its types. Equipments are the set of articles or physical resources which equips a person to perform something. When we talk about resources, it can either be indoor equipment and learning material or outdoor equipment and learning material. आंतरिक उपकरण और बाह्य उपकरण. As you can see in the picture, when any equipments or play material they are being utilized within the four walls, it is considered as the indoor equipment. It consists of building blocks, crayons, coloring, painting, whereas any activity which involves outside the four boundaries, which enables the children to play out within the nature, they are outdoor equipment and learning material. It includes swings, slides, and any material through which the child is playing outside. There are certain physical arrangements which are required and organization of the space for indoor equipment. उपकरणों को कैसे हमें संभालना चाहिए, उनकी स्पेस हमें कैसे प्रोवाइड करनी चाहिए, हम उस पर अभी थोड़ी चर्चा करेंगे। सबसे पहले क्लियर पाथवे, रास्ता साफ होना चाहिए। इन अरेंजिंग द स्पेस, one must make sure that the pathways to exit are clear with no furniture or material in the way. In addition, the following techniques will help to support safety in the indoor environment. Using low and open shelves. This promotes independence and prevents toys from falling on children. Creating clearly defined interest areas. This promotes engagement and helps create clear traffic patterns that prevent running and collisions. Try to place quiet play ideas away from more active and loud play ideas. Providing a variety of materials. This keeps children appropriately engaged, using time that might have been spent on inappropriate running, jumping, and climbing. Now, physical arrangement required for outdoor equipment. बाह्य उपकरण के लिए हमें क्या सावधानियां बरतनी हैं? First of all, we have to create an outdoor environment with variety of activities and learning experience, which can serve as extension to the indoor learning environment. Again, learning and outdoor activities, they should be safe, and design and maintain an outdoor learning environment which is safe and organized with designated areas for various types of play and learning. And such activities, they should also support learning in variety of environment. And this should be similar to an indoor learning environment. Outdoor space also should be safe and organized. तो हमें इन चीज़ों पर थोड़ा ध्यान देना है कि जब भी हम इंडोर एक्टिविटीज़ प्लान कर रहे हैं, आउटडोर इक्विपमेंट्स को हम प्लान आउट कर रहे हैं, तो इन कुछ बारीकियों पर हमें ध्यान देना है जिससे बच्चे की सेफ्टी बनी रहे, उसके चलने में प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो, चीज़ें उसकी विद इन रीच हों, जैसे कि अगर वो उठाए तो उसके ऊपर गिरे नहीं, पैसेज हो चलने के लिए, सेफ्टी हो, और इसके साथ में वो इंटरेस्ट भी जागृत करें. So these are the few things which are required for indoor and outdoor activities. Then few considerations while selecting the equipments. सबसे पहले age appropriateness, multiple uses of the resources, adequate number of resources, variety of resources, safety should be there, and natural material. जब हम बात करते हैं एज अप्रोप्रिएटनेस की, the learning materials that we are providing to the students, they should be relevant for the age group of the children for whom they are being selected, and it should help in promoting their language, cognitive and socio-emotional development. And the same equipment, it can be put for multiple uses. Children can use sand, water or play dough in a variety of ways, depending upon their ability, past experiences with the material and interest. So while choosing equipment and learning material, it should be ensured that the material has multi-purpose use. For example, a wooden block can be used as seat in outdoor space for merry-go-round, or even as a slide by joining wooden stumps and planks together. It gives children a sense of creativity and control over their play and learning. Adequacy. Since the curriculum includes indoor and outdoor and also individual and group activities, so the learning materials and equipment should be adequate in terms of quantity and proportion to ensure access to all children for all types of activities planned in the curriculum. There should be adequate number. After that, there should be variety. And this is essential that there should be a large range and variety of equipment and materials in the center to suit the needs, abilities and interests of all children. Materials that can be reused and recycled like clay, blocks, buttons, empty plastic container, empty cartons, they are good choice. Safety. Equipment should be appropriate and safe to use by children. They should be of low height and light with smooth, edgy edges and finishes. Finishes and dyes, means colors, should be non-toxic and meet all safety standards. So equipment should be safe, they should be diverse and flexible. So it is important to ensure that the equipment in an ECCE center reflects the community in which it is located. All the materials and equipment should be selected with consideration to encourage acceptance of diversity such as race, culture, etc. The material must also be easily adaptable for facilitating learning in different learning and development areas. Then natural material, Prakritik Sansthan. A large range of natural materials can be used at the ECCE center like pebbles, seed pods, sand, water, leaves and twigs or plants. This would also avoid large expenditure on buying expensive equipment and toys. For example, inexpensive material like rope can be used to make swings, ladders or hammocks. So these were the few considerations that we had discussed on how equipments they can be selected for the children. Now we'll come to the major part, that is equipment for various domains. As we know, there are three domains: psychomotor domain, cognitive domain and affective domain. So whatever equipments we are providing to the children, they should stimulate all the three domains. और उस डोमेन के अंडर ही हमारे सब डोमेन हैं जिसके थ्रू हम इक्विपमेंट्स को प्लान आउट करते हैं और प्रोवाइड करते हैं. सबसे पहला है फिजिकल स्ट्रेंथ एंड मोटर कोऑर्डिनेशन. सेकंड क्रिएटिव, ड्रामेटिक प्ले, फाइन मोटर, ग्रॉस मोटर skills should be developed, music, movement, language, science and maths and technology. So when we come forward to each of the areas under which what kind of equipments can be provided, there is a long list. हम आपको कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स देंगे जिसके थ्रू हम इन डिफरेंट सब डोमेन्स को स्टिमुलेट कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, फॉर फाइन मोटर स्किल्स we can provide building toys which includes wooden blocks, magnetic blocks, tinker toys, grasping toys, textured toys, containers to fill and dump. So with this, the child, they can work together, he can activate the work. As you can see in the pictures, the child, he is working on beads, he is working on pebbles, he is cutting. So wherever the fine muscles are being involved, it helps in generating and activating those skills. So fine motor skills involve the fine muscles of hand, legs of the child. So when a child, like you can see in the picture, if the child is cutting the clay, so it helps in developing the fine muscles of fingers, of wrist, and also it is developing the eye-hand coordination. Apart from that, puzzles, various interlocking and individual pieces, they can be summed up together. Children can play with through various shape sorting games, stacking rings, interlocking blocks. Apart from that, we have few manipulative games like through beads, strings, pegs, boards, trains and tracks, shape sorter, big pegs with pegboards. Apart from that, art material, which includes various material like paper, crayons, non-toxic markers, brush and finger paints, play-doh, collage material. So all these equipments, they are helpful in developing the fine muscles of the child. And after that, we have gross motor skills, means any activity which is help in strengthening the larger muscles of the children. It includes stationary equipment and portable equipment. Under stationary equipment, it includes all these slides, swings, climbing equipments through which the child is working out and he's playing and helps in improving his gross motor skills. Apart from stationary equipment, we have portable equipment, means जो हम ले जा सकते हैं, कहीं भी उठा सकते हैं, लेकिन स्टेशनरी जो एक जगह फिक्स है. तो पोर्टेबल इक्विपमेंट के अंडर आते हैं बॉल्स, व्हील टॉयज, राइडिंग टॉयज, टम्बलिंग मैट्स, जंप रोप्स, हुला हूप्स, बीन बैग्स, टनल्स, etc. So all these things and all these equipments, they are helpful in providing and strengthening the gross motor skills of the child. Next, in order to develop the creativity among children, imagination they can be developed through provision of various equipments, like for painting we can provide finger paint, block paints, trays, paint brushes, spray bottle. For drawing, children can use crayons, colors, pencils, erasers, markers, paper, collage, paper scrapes, yarn, glue, fabric remnants, natural objects. Then three-dimensional, play-doh, clay, wood, plastics. Tools which they can use is scissors, tape, stencils, pencils, eraser, sharpener, crayons. Apart from that, next sub area which needs to be developed among children is language. Now, how to improve the language ability of the children is through provision of equipments like factual books, fantasy books, nature and science books, race and culture books, diverse ability books, storytelling, puppetry, additional language materials. As you can see in the picture, language doesn't develop only through reading. It can develop through listening, through observing, through speaking, through telling. So all these provisions, they should be provided to the children to improve their language ability. Next comes improvement in the music ability of the child and in the movement and motor abilities. It includes musical instruments which can be provided at ECCE center like manjiras, mouth organs, bells, piano, flutes, rhythm stick, drums, xylophone. Then for dance, we can provide scarves, ribbon, dresses, hoops, dancing clothes, shoes. Then for audio equipments, tape, CD player, headphones, snog books, microphones, etc. When we move on to next subdomain, that is technology related, it includes audio-visual for children literature, rhyming videos, audio videos on educational concepts and content, audio video on exercise, audio videos on cooking, baking, because children learn a lot through all these activities. When students are being provided with any video, the children imbibe, they listen, they learn, they relate. So these equipments, they are very much important for overall growth and development of the child. Next, we move on to physical strength and motor coordination. When a child and all the children, they are working together, they are playing together, it helps in strengthening their physical ability and motor coordination. It includes swings, slides, climbers, balancing boards, merry-go-round, large building blocks, sand and water toys, wheel toys. Apart from that, various dramatic play, it also helps in developing the child in all the aspects. It includes fantasy, such as animals, dinosaurs, storybook characters, multicultural items such as food, dress-up dolls, props, puppets, costumes. different kind of work props such as office, construction, farm, store, firefighting, transportation, small play buildings with accessories, leisure such as camping, sports, cooking utensils, housekeeping such as dolls, child-sized furniture, dress up, kitchen utensils, doll accessories. Apart from that, we have various blocks like unit blocks, wood, plastic, foam including rectangles, squares, triangles, cylinders, etc. Homemade blocks, hollow blocks, toy people, toy animal, toy vehicle, road signs, lightweight blocks of various size, shapes, colors, containers to fill and dump. Then in order to develop nature and scientific enthusiasm among children, what we can provide? We can provide natural objects like rocks, insects, seed, pods, living things such as non-toxic house plants, gardens, pets, nature and science books, games or toys such as matching cards, sequence cards, nature science activities such as cooking, experiments with magnets, magnifying glasses, sink and float. For maths, we have small objects to count. We should provide materials for measuring such as spoons, cups, tapes, scales, etc. Materials for learning shapes and sizes. Material for recognizing numbers such as rulers, number puzzles, magnetic numbers, number games such as dominoes or number lotto, geometric shapes, parquetry blocks. So these are the few equipments that we had studied and that we had looked into, which we can provide to our children for better growth in all the spheres. After this, we'll come towards how to maintain these equipments. Once they are being brought, they should be kept, they should be upkept also. So the ways in which we can maintain the physical equipment and learning is proper dusting should be there, cleaning should be there, sterilizing all the equipment should be done regularly to avoid the spread of germs. Toys made of washable material should be washed and kept clean at all times to prevent spread of disease producing germs. Enough storage space is necessary to maintain cleanliness as well as for easy access of the materials at the time of use. Space to store children's personal belonging is also essential. All storage containers and shelves must be labeled with pictures or words. While the initial setup of labeling system is time consuming, but once in place, it helps children and the staff to put back the material at their designated places. It encourages independence and ownership among children. And also, organizing storage of small items like beads, crayons, picture cards, etc. in labeled tubs or baskets for easy cleanup. Try to place areas requiring cleanup in close proximity to water source, which is available for cleaning materials. Then materials that have not been used for a long time may be rotated frequently and new things added to sustain the interest of children. All electrical fittings and heating appliances should be out of reach of children. They need to be checked regularly and repaired properly. So these were the major areas that we have discussed about play equipments. We have also discussed about the importance of play and how things they can be put into use for betterment of the children. These are the few references that we have used and which can be referred to for better understanding and for future references. But overall, we have to take into consideration that children are active learner and they need to be taken into consideration through provision of various equipments which are helpful for them for their better being. So with this, I end my session over here. Thank you so much. धन्यवाद.